it's windy, it's windy. Hope you can hear me on this microphone. Behind me, Holland in the distance, Emshaven actually. Right here is the Equinox, the next of our cruise ships, the second of 5 in the Solstice class of cruise ship vessels for celebrity cruises. Later on today we're taking that wonderful, beautiful ship down that tiny little river where we'll end up in Emshaven, where we'll complete the construction. We've got to get it out today because it's getting too heavy to finish. If we don't take it today, we'll never get out of the river. However, beneath my feet right now is our next ship after Equinox, is Eclipse. And I've asked for permission to actually see some of this construction going on right in front of us. They've given us 30 minutes, so I'm going to show you as much as I can about modern cruise ship building in the next 30 minutes. Follow me, hold on to your hat, we haven't got much time. And for goodness sake, be careful, it's been raining, it's slippery. Be careful, this is quite slippery.
Yeah.
It sure is. I feel like Jason Bourne. This is definitely not a television piece that you would want to do if you were frightened of heights, because I'm a little scared. Holy cow. Okay, I think this is probably what you would, if you were making a movie, you would call this the money shot, okay? Because we are now right in the center of the building, about 75 meters up in the air, and directly below us is the engine room of the Eclipse. And there are actually 4 main engines on board, and you can clearly see those 2 there right below us. Okay, this is it. I'm feeling quite privileged. I've just been told by Michael, our technical liaison, that no one's ever been allowed to stand here while making one of these little documentaries. So I'm about 350 feet in the air on a very skinny platform, feeling quite a lot of vertigo. So I think it's time that we go and actually put our feet on the ground and have a look at some of these pieces from the bottom up. And I think there'll be less chance of having a nosebleed. So let's go and have a look at the Eclipse. So, welcome to the inside of Uberdachtes Bouwdock nummer 6, otherwise known as Construction Hall number 6, the biggest in the world. Come here and have a little look. This is the biggest self-contained enclosed shipbuilding hall on planet Earth. It's absolutely huge. Can you come around behind me so I can point out some dimensions? This is half a kilometer long in that direction, 504 meters. It is 75 meters high, and it is about 130 meters wide. And not only is there enough space in this hall to build a ship as big as the Solstice, I'm keeping myself in shot because I'm the star of this piece, and the Equinox and the Eclipse, which is the 3rd ship, and that's actually the Eclipse down there. But I don't know if you can notice, they're actually building 2 side by side, so there's actually enough room in there for 2 ships. Unbelievable. So coming down through here, we're going to have a little wander around the entire building, and I'm going to do my best to point out some interesting features. And there's a chap down there whose name is Michael, and he's the public relations chap for Meyer Werft. Unbelievably nervous on camera, so I can't seem to get him to face me on the shot, but I'll be getting all the information from him and then telling you. So let's have a little look around. Here we go. Okay, here's a cool shot. Now, I don't know if you're going to be able to pick this out, but that piece there that is sitting on the floor of the building, that is right at the aft end of the ship, the stern, and those 2 holes there are actually the orifices in which we will put the azipods. So that's where those propellers, and if you look at any of our other documentaries like the one where we had the Solstice in the dry dock, you'll remember we were talking about the azipods, which are those propellers that rotate through 360 degrees. Well, there's the hole that they fit in. In about 5 months' time, they'll be plugged up. Very cool shot. Let's move on. To build ships as big as we build them nowadays, unlike in the old days where they laid down all the ribs and the strakes and actually built the ship from the keel up, and they ended up with a beautiful ship which they then launched into the ocean. Ships are too big for that. So now they actually build ships in blocks, and there's a great example right there of a block of a ship. That's the width of the ship, and that's about, what is it, 5 decks, and they're building that as a separate entity, and when it's complete it will be put in its position and welded to the next block. So the whole thing is literally built like almost small houses, small blocks of ship put together to end up. And over there you can see that's actually the Eclipse, and I would not be surprised if this block isn't about to be put right on top of that piece there. And that's it, just like a big Lego set. Okay, here's a good piece. This here is a crane, and I have it on a reliable authority that's called a transverse beam crane. It's the entire width of the building, and apparently that can pick up 800 tons. A crane that picks up 800 tons. That block there, that's actually the same block we looked at a few moments ago, the other side of it. I've just been told by Mystery Michael, my authoritative guy from Maya of Earth, that that's about 300 tons. So if you have a look at that, imagine we can pick up with that crane blocks twice as big as that. It's an immense amount of power and strength. Now, if you keep tracking around, go over there, that next block there, you can just see the top of one of the main engines poking over the top. Now we're going to have a little closer look at that later on, but there it is. The actual engine is put inside the block before the block is even put inside the ship. I just suddenly became a little bit emotional because the block below my feet right now is the main stage of the Eclipse. And if you have a look at that now, you'll see there's clearly the recesses for the audience seating, and then a very cool shot right in the middle of that base plate. That is where our trapdoor, our pit is, where we bring artists on and off the stage in a magical way for our wonderful shows produced by Poet Productions. That's great. I think I'm going to go down on that main stage and sing a little song inside the shipyard. See if I can get a reaction out of our German friends.